So then, is North Korea ready to talk? Its delegation meeting with South Korea's president on Sunday, said to be the regime opening the door to talks with the U.S. Michael Waltz, former U.S. Green Beret commander, former counterterrorism advisor to former Vice President Cheney, is also running for Congress in Florida. How you doing, Michael? Good morning to you.
Good, Bill. Good morning.
Is now the time, or are you skeptical?
Well, I'm incredibly skeptical of entering into talks. I mean, the Trump administration is continuing its strategy of maximum pressure, but then leaving the door open. But the door open to talks has to be with the right preconditions. And that is, as the administration has said, is the complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. North Korea has to walk away from this program. And I'm very concerned that they're going to use these talks to continue to buy time. Keep in mind, their missile engineers and their nuclear scientists are working as hard as they can in the background to have an ICBM that can re-enter the atmosphere with a nuclear warhead on it.
I think you're exactly right in everything you just said. Here's what I keep coming back to. I think we're a long way from this being resolved. In addition to that, Michael, what's the incentive for North Korea to give up its nukes? They've been working for decades toward this moment.
Well, that's right. They're not just going to give them up out of the kindness of their heart. So that's why the pressure campaign is so critical. The administration just announced another round of sanctions, this time focused on the shipping industry, individual ships, shipping companies, not just North Korean, but Chinese, Singaporean, and others that are known violators of the UN sanctions. And then the next step, which I think we need to move to quickly, is much more aggressive maritime interdictions of these various ships that are violating the sanctions. Now, the implementation of that is going to be pretty complicated. We have to rely on the Japanese, on the Chinese, and other countries in the region because they are going to have to interdict these ships in their territorial waters. We can do it on the high seas. We have the ability to do that, but we have to build a broader coalition to interdict in the territorial waters, and that's going to require us working with the Chinese and Russians, which thus far have blocked this in the UN.
I think a very interesting comment there. Here's the White House statement from over the weekend. We will see if Pyongyang's message today that it is willing to hold talks represents the first steps along the path to denuclearization. In the meantime, the United States and the world must continue to make clear that North Korea's nuclear and missile programs are a dead end. In other words, we'll sit down, but you know what the outcome is. That's the negotiating point for the Americans. Finish that up, and we're going to go.
Well, that's right, Bill. And you mentioned we're a long way from resolving this, but we're not a long way, according to the CIA chief, from North Korea having a functional ICBM capable of striking the United States with a nuclear warhead. He's estimating that's a year to a year and a half away. So time is not on our side. And while I fully agree with the administration's maximum pressure campaign, we have to do everything possible short of the military option. We need to ramp it up and ramp it up quickly.
Thank you, Michael. Good to have you back on here today.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
Out of Washington, Michael Waltz. Thanks.